Well, today is a good day because the Dragonbane Kickstarter just came in. Let's take a look at it together. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Sacred Art of Gaming, where we love talking about Dragonbane, like today. And I just wanted to share this with you. So I opened the box, I got this far, I did take this little guy out. Of the box it came in, this is my first time opening it with you. My understanding is that I actually purchased this and this, and I think, I'm fairly certain, this was free. All of this, I think, was free. I don't think I would have ordered that. And I know for a fact, this was free. That was really cool. Show it up on the top camera too to try to minimize glare. Now, I was personally very torn on which art to go with, because on this hand, this feels very Dragonbane to me. And this is probably more of my style, generally speaking, but this could kind of be like anything, if we're being honest, outside of like the art. But like, even with the art, like that could be Vaesen almost. So yeah, this is what I went with. I think I'm happy with that, because this duck art, as well as the duck art on the core book, is really the only duck art that is for me. Put that to the side for now. Alright, now let's take out this mini. I believe he's a character in Arkand, and ooh, really cool, really cool. We'll probably see his name at some point. I believe he has something to do with like keeping creatures in the city. Nice. Same quality as like the alien mini. And we'll continue to go through some of the extras first before we dive into the books. So quite a few. I say minis. They're cardboard minis. What the hell do you call these? Standees? They are standees. Yeah, the standee set. Friends and foes standee set. Yeah. My initial thought was, is this what I already had? But then after a quick review, no, this is definitely new stuff that I'm guessing is very specific to the Kickstarter, because I know for a fact, like I think I kind of maybe remember this spider, but no, you know what, I bet I just remember it from seeing it in the Kickstarter, similar to this. But like this, I know for a fact I have not seen anywhere. So yeah, you've got those three cardboard trays, I'm gonna call them now, and then you get another nice little map that has, I don't know, dirt, rock on one side, and then grass on the other. Simple but effective. Alright, really cool. So we've gone through the extras. Now let's dive into some of the books. I think I'm going to start with Arkand. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with Arkand. I've looked at the PDFs for both of these, but I've definitely been in the PDF more for the Book of Magic lately. And oof, wow, look at that. Opening up the book to a sweet map right out the gate. I always feel like the table of contents is important to look at. So you see chapter 1, we have the City of Waves and Flames. Chapter 2 is the Harbor. Chapter 3 is the Dung. Chapter 4 being the Market. Chapter 5 being Dragon Rock, and Chapter 6 being the Underworld. This being specific portions to the city. Although this, we're kind of starting general and then we're hitting different spaces. Now, we're not going to go through every page of the book, of course. That would take forever. But we're going to kind of pick and pop throughout the book just to give you a feel. This continues the standard with the other Dragonbane books that we all know and love. It's got that matte finish. It's got the whatever paper this is. it feels like quality. The art is excellent. And there were some rumors that, yeah, I think that is great. The art is awesome. There were definitely some parts in here that I did kind of want to draw attention to, but where they are in the book, I actually don't know offhand. So we got some cool like adventures in Arkand, and the Song of the Manticore, I believe, is it a mission? It actually might be a mission. Maybe we won't look at that for too long. The section here of a cast of characters with unique NPCs in Arkand, that's really cool, as well as typical NPCs. Then that brings us to the harbor section. Random events that can happen while you're there. I'm always a fan of that. We have the Temple of the Endless Sea. Oh, this is cool. Rumors about the harbor. Aid from the deep tables. Oh my goodness. And then, yeah, it looks like there's some like potential adventures that are kind of thrown in here. Yes, this thing looks familiar. Some cool monsters that are notably in Arkand. So this must be specific to Arkand and not in any of the other Dragonbane books. So yeah, there are quite a few adventure seeds that are kind of throughout the book here. Yes, the Guild of Waves. One of Arkand's 6 guilds is responsible for keeping the harbor safe, ensuring that visitors pay their customs, duties, and docking fees, and making sure no unwanted creatures creep up from beneath the docks. Really cool. And we have more adventure seeds. So yeah, I think the takeaway for this book, I mean, we're at like page 60. Oh, we have a map. I didn't know that. We have to take a look at that map. Out of like probably 160-ish. This is mainly going to be urban adventures around Arkand and in somewhat of a sandbox. It looks like there's a good mix of sandbox adventures with rumors, but then also some more detailed adventures. It's like the Witless Unicorn is a really cool tavern. It's the Cracked Pearl, the Gambling Den, Arkand's most notorious gambling den. This whole section on the Soul Ink that I'm not quite sure what this is at a glance, but I'm excited to see more about it. The Soul Ink has long served as a gathering place for like-minded individuals who freely debate the legends surrounding various demon lords and their supposed philosophies without necessarily pledging allegiance to any of them. The Tattoo Master, Kontar, is himself curious. So yeah, I don't know why, but I love magical tattoos and that may be going in that direction, and I'm a fan. Yes, the market of Arkand, more random events. This is kind of more of what I was looking for. Achilles' Menagerie and Curiosities. There is the guy we got the mini for. Really cool. He's ever fascinated by the mysteries of life. Achilles had the opportunity to study animism at an early age. He soon realized the limitations of the harmonious approach and started pushing the boundaries by making life itself the subject of his experiments. Very cool, very cool. And the Cabinet of Curiosities. Oh yes, there's going to be a lot of good stuff here. The Guild of Blades. I don't recall that. In Sovereign Square stands a sturdy stone building that houses the Guild of Blades, the City Watch headquarters, and Arkand's prison. Its facade bears the scars of countless jailbreak attempts, both successful and failed. Dragon Rock. Really cool, and I like this art, my god. Dragon Rock is the crown of Arkand. From here, one can gaze out across a seemingly endless sea of dreams. Inland towards the dark forest, blah blah blah. Okay, more random events, more rumors. Yes, very cool. The Temple of True Fire. There's a lot. There is a lot, and I have 4, I think it's 4, yeah, 4 ongoing Dragonbane characters. I don't know which one I'm going to put in an urban setting. Do I need to make a 5th? I don't know. I feel like they've been really good in a forest environment. We have the Arkand Academy. Arkand's first sovereign, Avador Northing, who decreed the city should have an academy that would serve as a shining symbol of free thought. The Citadel of Broken Wings. My goodness, yeah, this is quite full. Then we have the Underworld. It's the most myth-shrouded part of Arkand. A place everyone has heard of, but few have ever seen. Again, we have, I like this, passages in the underworld. That's interesting. We also have random events, and then all of these interesting places like Pontibu's Den, which I believe is this guy. I remember him. Athene's Lair? Oh, yes, this must be the spider. And my god, that art. The Dragon Temple, my goodness. Amazing art. Dragon Rider Academy. And that brings us to the end with another amazing ending page in this map that I did not know was here, which, how could I have not known that? Another amazing map. Check it out. One of these days I'm going to put that in the Misty Vale right next to each other. Alright, very cool, very cool. So to give you an idea, I know we kind of like went through it very quickly, but this book features 20 adventure sites spread across 5 districts along with a number of campaign seeds. And then that brings us to the Book of Magic, which to me is something I was really excited for, but also is kind of like fairly straightforward to cover. And I've been in the PDF pretty regularly. So this is kind of letting you know what is going on here. Magic and metal, revised spells, general magic, and then all of the different schools of magic that ended up making it in. Animism, demonology, elementalism, harmonism, illusionism, mentalism, necromancy, symbolism, witchcraft, alchemy, enchanting, Dracomancy. Do that 10 times fast. And as we know, animism, mentalism, and elementalism being in the core book. The only other one with any overlap is that alchemy was covered in a third-party supplement that I have. Traditions from Beyond the Veil. But I think they're covered in different ways, and I'll be curious to take a look at that. Again, we're not going to go through every page and show you every single thing, but I think this is really cool. They pretty much do this for every type of magic school where they break down this little chart, which reminds me a lot of the Dragon Age TTRPG, where they have a similar deal to show you like what things you need to get to the next spell in which rank. I love it. I love a good visual aid. This being the general spells. And did we miss the part where they talk? I feel like it's important for my channel in particular to talk about magic and metal. As stated in page 50 of the rulebook, mages cannot wear metal armor or use metal weapons. However, it is possible to circumvent this restriction by using weapons made from obsidian and other even rarer materials covered in page 118. So yeah, that's probably obsidian, which that supplement also utilizes. Alright, so into the spells. So animism, we have our chart here. I'm not going to focus too much on this because it's already existing, but there may be some slight changes. This does look pretty stacked. And we have a newer one here, demonology. Now, I will say of the schools of magic that are here, it feels like if you want to create a new character, and if you want to make it based off of this book, it feels like you have to use some of the more like evil-facing magic types if you want to make direct effects on a target. So, and the reason why I bring that up, I mean, not really a problem in group play as much, because then you can kind of play to those niche roles. In solo play, that can be tough if you have. I mean, I guess you could fall back on a normal weapon or whatever, but if you wanted to make effects on health with magic, you're probably going to need something like demonology or witchcraft. Dracomancy, I think also, but that's more advanced. Here's our little breakdown of all the stuff that we can do. So really fits the bill. Things like Abyssal Stench, Chaos Swamp as our rank 1 spells here. Biggest challenge we demonologists face is not letting our greed get the better of us. So making deals. We have a stat block here for a guardian demon. I dig that. And it also has a little d6 table there. We have elementalism, which is another one of our core magics. We have an elemental familiar mentioned here. I dig that. And then here's our chart. Not looking quite as stacked as the animism one. That one looked kind of insane. From what I recall, I'm familiar with the elementalism. This looks mostly similar, which probably why it doesn't look as stacked. Then we have Harmonism. So seeking attunement with the harmony of the spheres. So what's cool about this is you would actually use performance, and this pretty much allows you to do your bard power fantasy. Got our sweet map here for things like Inspire, Serenity, Mend, Protective Harmonies, and Tune Mood. So see how something like this I think would be difficult in a solo play if there's going to be combat. Inspire, Serenity, these are going to be things that are going to be tough if it's just you. But that could allow you to play a game where maybe you're soloing to make sure other people stay alive, and that's something that you absolutely could do. We've got some Harmonist Masters with requirements. I dig that. That also kind of feels like Dragon Age to me a little bit. More so the video game. And then we have Illusionism. Now, Illusionism was one of the ones I did consider if I were to do like a solo mage with these. But I mean, even still, it's going to be a bit before you can make direct effects. So I mean, you can confuse, create an animated apparition of a creature up to human size. But yeah, I don't think those are making direct effects. Really cool though, really cool. Like some of these magic tricks. It is possible that I overlooked some of the magic tricks. Double tongue. Yeah, these don't seem like they're making effects either, but I do love things like shadow play. That's really cool. Now, just out of curiosity, to look at like one of the stronger ones, that rank 5, yeah, even this I don't think is like a direct effect, which honestly I don't think is what magic should be. I don't know if this is supposed to be here, but it says trip in the book. I think that was supposed to, I don't think that was supposed to make it into the book, but it's interesting. Mentalism, this being our third, this being like our Jedi or our psychic warrior monk even. This also looks kind of the same from what I recall, but we are happy to have the map. And then we have Necromancy. There are quite a few that are like evil-ish. Really cool stuff here. Things like fright, cadaverous stench, pain, rigor mortis. Yeah, really cool, really cool. Now, as far as just like raising the dead, you could speak with dead. Animate carcass is going to be level 2. Raise skeleton, animate carcass. Yeah, so you're not going to be doing that kind of stuff right out the gate, but you know what? That kind of makes sense. I wonder if speak with dead was supposed to be here. That one almost kind of makes sense, but drain life, terror, hand of death, defy death, necrotic chill, raise white, raise mummy. We have mummy monster attacks, really cool. Symbolism. Symbolism was something that kind of excited me. I almost created a mage with this, and I may still use it eventually, but I don't think I'm going to start with it. So for symbolism, they have magic tricks like cipher, dictation, erase. You erase one page of text that has not been carved into a durable material simply by looking at it. Very cool. Far scribe, hesitation, lure, shield rune, and sunder. We'll look at sunder, for example. By quickly drawing the symbol on a non-magical inanimate object such as a weapon or a door, you inflict 2d10 damage, ignoring armor rating on the object. Each additional power level increases the damage by d10. So yeah, it's like setting up a charge on a door or like a wall or something in like Rainbow Six Siege. Other cool stuff like magic armor, horrify, petrify, really cool. Then we have witchcraft, fairly stacked here. And I do like that although it is called witchcraft, these are not like necessarily evil witches, at least in the spells. You get things like a broom sweep, you can make somebody itchy, which is funny, read scars, but like you have things like animal sense, augury, helper, protective aura, witch mark, which is not necessarily like evil per se. Maybe witch mark, but you mark a creature with an invisible witch's mark, imposing a bane on all the target's will rolls to resist fear. Oh, very interesting. Shape-shifting, animate object, doomsday prophecy, my goodness. Polymorph, and then that brings us to alchemy. This is also new. For their alchemy, which I am noticing that, all right, we're seeing the ingredients here. Ah, yes. Alchemy recipes by rank. That is pretty solid. What I was curious about in this is the alchemy considered more of like a science or more of like a magic? Like, is this something that you're going to see like rogues doing, or is something that's more in line with mages? It's in the Book of Magic. Alchemy has no magic tricks. I know for the supplement, Traditions from Beyond the Veil, you can make like bombs and stuff. I don't think this has... Oh, wait, I do see Explosive Orb, so maybe. I didn't know if that would be like something that would make it different. Also, I think there were like the Witcher style, the stuff that you put on, like the oils on weapons. I see a Love Potion, a Soothing Brew, Smoke Screen, so yeah, maybe somewhat of an overlap, but I don't know, I think the other one has more bombs, and I think it also has more animal parts and ingredients and how that makes a potion. Anyways, here is Enchanting. Some Master Enchanters. Then we've got quite a list here. Warming, Concealing, Supple Armor, Thinking Cap. This one also was kind of interesting, especially as a support for Mage. Thinking Cap. The spell can only be cast on helmets, hats, or other headwear. The wearer gains a boon on a number of the following skills equal to the power level. Beast lore, languages, myths and legends, or an int-based secondary skill of the wearer's choice. Very cool. Oh, look at this. Bloodsucker, level 3 on a bleeding weapon. Can be cast on melee weapons that deal slashing or piercing damage. If an attack with the weapon deals damage to a living target, the victim loses half this amount of willpower, rounding up, and the user regains the same amount of spent willpower. I love that! That is really cool. That kind of unlocks like a new kind of play style. And if you have an Obsidian, then you can do it yourself. Which reminds me, did we pass Obsidian? Mages and metal, crafting magic items, I'm into that. Dragon Glass, okay. I could have swore it mentions Obsidian somewhere, unless I'm thinking of the other book. Oh, very cool. Some drawbacks and some different examples of weapons that you can make. Magical critters, very cool. Now, Dracomancy is something that's more advanced. You can't actually start with this. This is something that, it starts at rank 6. So you're kind of like, if you're someone that can do this, you're like a master mage. And you can do things like freeze time, translocate, reverse time. I mean, we're talking like Scarlet Witch stuff at this point. Create, yeah, very cool. And that is the end of the book. Who are top backers? Yeah, I am starting to wonder, am I mixing products here? I think it's not mentioning Obsidian here. I think it's really just the Dragon Glass, and then we're also seeing Demonic Matter for the using magic and metal and kind of working around that. Yeah, that might just be in the supplement for Obsidian, which is also a cool option, I think. All right, very cool. So that has been the Book of Magic, Arkand, City of Waves and Flames, and then the extra little goodies that came along with it, as well as some that I still didn't even know about as I was opening the books. Very cool. What are your thoughts on the new Dragonbane stuff? Are you super pumped to dive into some urban adventure within Arkand, or even just using the magic spells? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know some cool like build ideas that you're thinking with some of the new types of magic that's at our disposal. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube things, hype, share. I can't even keep track of all the things that they do anymore. And I will see you in the next one as we continue to explore the sacred art of gaming together. Hat kind of throws me off a little bit. Should we be playing Dragonbane again? What do you think? Got like 4 characters. Should I be bringing them out? Let's go!